Good evening and thanks for joining me tonight on Resource PNG. On the program this evening, we feature Marengo Mining Limited, the Yandra project covering their community affairs, environmental safety monitoring, and the investors from China. Followed by that will be the proposed Paya Inlet development project. In last week's story about Marengo Mining, we touched base on the Yandra project itself. This week, we look at Marengo Mining's community affairs and interest shown by a Chinese investor. Here's Eunice with the story.
The Yandra project in the highlands of Madang is a place that was built by the Yenda people. This skilled labor is remarkable that even their project office looks like it's part of the village with the array of flowers lining their footpaths. Frog Camp is no exception. The people have made this exploration project theirs. Listening to them speak, one will notice that they refer to it as our mine or our project. That is how close to their heart this project has become.
Before long, 2005, Marengo been come inside. Me come up chairman below display Marengo. 2005, me look at him display company coming up long 7 player. Me look at him display company. Me play stop here. Me look him plan the service company bring him. Now me look him plan the something he send his finish. Also now me I'm a master display Marengo company. And we want a good company come inside. Now by me plan run him this project he go me play naplo come up mine. Also now me talk big plan thank you true blow me konong Marengo na Mr. Les Emery.
Since stepping into the scene in 2005, Marengo Mining has utilized the skills of the locals in everything, from the steps to the buildings and even the drill rigs. This project is as much theirs as it is Marengo's, and the company likes it that way. Marengo Mining Limited's managing director and CEO Les Emery described their management approach as a very flat structure. Everyone in their Perth office has to see what the project in PNG looks like, and every director on the Marengo board has been to the village.
We have a very flat structure. The management in Perth, the head office, I'm the sole executive director of the company, and I have a set of managers, a group of managers working under me who are given a high degree of autonomy. And then leading on from that, the PNG part of our activity, which is the most important of our activity, is run very much as an independent operation. On site we have a project manager who is effectively the captain of the ship at the Yandra project. We run an office in Madang where the administration is managed. And the head office in Perth is really the parent company that overviews all of the activity, and with regular visits from myself and other management staff, then we work as a team. But within PNG, our focus has always been to maximise the number of PNG nationals who work for us, and we're very proud that we have really a handful of expats working for us. That will increase as the project develops. And I guess the other aspect of our management style is that we all spend a lot of time on the ground, and the best way to understand what's happening and also understand what the problems of the people are is to be here and listen to them and talk to them.
The company has sourced most of its workers locally, and it's the way that they believe it should be. As the project moves further in its development, they hope to continue this trend.
There's obviously skills that currently the nation doesn't have, but with an increase in education, not only at village level but in terms of Madang at tertiary level and further afield in places like Port Moresby with UPNG, Lay with Unitec, we want to help skill up the country. For us, ultimate aim is to have maximum number of PNG nationals working on this project, and we're starting off, I think, on the right foot.
Welcome back to the program. We take a look at how the primary school at Yandara is doing.
Education in this remote part of Madang has had its setbacks. The local school, the St. Michael's Yandara Primary School, was established in 1979 and has provided basic education for the village children. The school currently has a student population of about 500 with 8 teachers. They start from elementary through to grade 8. This learning institution comes under the Department of Education and serves more than just the Yandara area, but they are still waiting for their subsidy.
We are still trying our best to keep the school in place because it is the only school that is catering for most of the kids around this place here. There's no other schools. So some of those kids, they come all the way from places so far away that it takes them all day to travel to school. They get up early in the morning around 6 and they come to school around 8 o'clock. So it's a problem to us, but we are worried that we should keep the school running because of this. It's the only school. And after they graduate from grade 8, the only high school we have is Brahman Secondary, and that's the only school we have. So within Bundi itself, I can say education is something that we are really interested in this place today because we got so many things coming up. And as for myself, I'm worried for my school, and I really want the school to keep on running so that I can educate my kids again to come back and develop my own village again in my place.
The mining project has bought 5,000 kina worth of school materials to keep the school going. That will be delivered when the school reopens after their mid-year holidays.
It's okay, but at the moment we are running short with the materials.
Did the company give any books or things like that to the school?
Yeah. Well, the last donation we made you used for some various things. So we've been supporting the school ever since we came here because we see the school is a very important part of the whole process, and education is the future for the children here. There's got to be a mine, but the mine needs people with education to work there. So what we're saying is the driver for children to go to school and get educated is if you want a better future and you want to work for our mine or any other mine in the country, then you need that education. So that
normally, if a teacher had to come to this school, they would spend hours walking. But the exploration project has changed that. Now a teacher is only a chopper ride away from town. And the company has also helped nearby schools too, like those along the Ramu River. But the school is not the only place that's getting help. The health center has got much needed improvement. Marengo brought in paramedics that work shifts to attend to their employees and the locals. The clinic sees about 1,000 patients per month. Most of them are from Yandara and the surrounding villages. In total, the clinic serves some 6,000 people from these villages.
The villages in the surrounding area of the mine is very isolated. So we cater for almost 14 villages within the exploration area of the mining. So roughly we see during the day we see 10 to 20 villages, total of, at the end of the month, about 1,000 patients. Generally, with the health in here, generally is really, with the help of the company, I think the Marengo company have given a lot, especially with the sick patients, very sick patients, where that the services that government couldn't support, but when the company came in, it's really very helpful. Like we usually send most of the patients, very sick patients, through the SOPA down to the nearby hospital. So yeah, I think generally the company has put much effort with the health of general locals here, the villages and the employees.
The people have seen massive changes. Health and education have been revived, promising them a brighter future.
Na mani blo maringo tu. Mi vai to se em go sem na em go simbu na simbu tu kai. Because em blessing come na em go all kita. Mi fraud lo you maringo you come inside lo. Yandra na making me pla come up. Good pla man na marry good pla pikinini. Na give him support lo mi pla lo school side. Give him support lo mi pla lo health side. You give him big plus support. Even old man or beginning blow making travel. He got policeman blow straight into start. Now me play no paying policeman I walk about go bundi. Before yes, me plus I walk about tidying bun walk about. But now me play no walk about. Man blow walking problem and relax. I'm start now. Policeman am start side. I'm come left side so straight him. So me almost lo Marengo am come inside lo. Here I'm operate. 7 years I'm operate now. Me almost. Mi sabol se memba continue siet na mi one bell through lo Marengo la emba kama bi mine na gomo yet.
Our company is doing a lot for us. You know, when Les comes around for a visit, he always went into our classroom over there in our community school, sees everything out there and then come back. And we have our 8 posts here, saving our employees as well, outside communities. They are getting big service in here. And our employment, we've never been to a mining field, but we are training for 8 years and we are well off. I think we are better well off to run a mine field way. That's
Quite interesting to know how Marengo Mining Limited is assisting the St. Michael's Yandra Primary School and the Health Center. We'll take another break from here, but coming up, we'll take a look at the environment safety and monitoring work at the project site. Thank you for staying with us. Well, safety is every mining and petroleum company's concern, and Marengo Mining Limited is no exception.
Before any mine is established, there are a number of things that must be done at the exploration phase, where there is a lot of drilling. The drilling process is to extract core samples to show how much ore there is on the ground. That means clearing a piece of land to set up a drill rig. In the planning stage before drilling, landowners have to be consulted to get permission, and villagers have to be informed of the mine's intentions. That's where the community affairs team steps in.
Relocation program. We'll be having a meeting probably this month to look at all these big plans that's coming up, how we are going to approach them.
This team has done a lot of talking and walking. The Community Affairs Lands Coordinator, Richard Bayer, tells us that they have had a pretty good run so far.
The biggest achievement for Community Affairs has been minimizing land ownership disputes. We encountered no major problem here as we speak. That's the big achievement we have. We've managed to bring the tribal groups together, all the clans together, and declared a dispute-free project. And they are all for it, and it has been good so far. Since day one we started off, we did not have anything to do with land. The landowners, they helped us to document their own land ownership. They told us where the boundaries were, and we educated them on the land ownership in the country. And that has helped us to minimize most of the land disputes so far.
Their work has been made a little easier too because of the work of an American anthropologist, Dr. Laura Zima Tamakoshi, who has been documenting the lives of the Gende people since the early 1980s.
We've taken an additional approach to land ownership documentation. We've got the land study thing separate, and then we have the social mapping aspect of it. That's where this independent anthropologist came in, Dr. Laura. She has been here prior to Marengo moving into the place. She had the baseline data there. And that has helped us to get everything in order. We've produced some supplementary as well. We've got the Gende book out. We are working on another one that's promoting our social mapping exercise that we've done for the people, and we believe we've done a very good job.
During the exploration phase, environmental factors must be monitored to get what is called baseline data. In this case, baseline data is information collected about the environment which can later be used by the company to see whether or not their work has had an impact on their surroundings. Environment Officer Rafael Maminaka knows a lot about that.
We do a couple of jobs, all related to environment. Now we do hydrological baseline studies. That is by way of monitoring the water levels. We've got 4 water level monitors, or otherwise we call them stream gauging stations, scattered all over the headwaters of the Imbrum and the Tayo rivers, and the confluence of the Ramu River. That's one. Another job is that we have 13 sample sites. That includes collection of water samples in 13 locations, scattered all over the SML area, including downstream of the Ramu River. In that we collect sediment samples, water sediment samples, or sand sediments. We also do water quality checks, check if there's any changes in the chemistry of the water. We also do water current measurements on the strength of the local rivers around here. Apart from that, we do a couple of other jobs taking care of the environment, meaning that we comply to Department of Environment, DEC's compliance. So whatever we do here must be in line with the DEC's compliance. So Marengo is no exception to any other explorations around the country. We are by law supposed to be compliant with the laws set by the NEC. We have challenges, especially when tracks are built across gardens. That's where we have a lot of challenge, because the people come in here for conversation that is not in line with an arrangement in place. So currently what the problem we have here is we're using the Governor General's valuous price list, and that I hope will come to an end when an LO is in place and we negotiate on a fixed rate for the people here. But that is the main concern that we have here, is that we don't have any proper fixed rates for tree crops or whatever we have here. So at this time as we speak, we're still using the Governor, the Governor General's price list.
Despite these issues, all departments take their jobs very seriously. Safety comes first. When in potentially hazardous area, hard hats, gloves, safety boots and goggles are a must. And regular communication is essential with the locals.
We assist the Community Affairs Department with environment awareness. We explain to the communities what Marengo is doing, what you've done so far, and what you'd like to do. So it's part of our job to work in alliance with Community Affairs, to move hand in hand and make the people aware of what we're doing. Most times we have complaints coming from the local villagers, complaining about possible pollution, and we explain to them the products that we use along the drill pads or drilling activities. We explain to them. People are now more aware of what we use. So that's a very difficult task. That we have people who are reactive to environment, and we try to tell them the truth of what we're doing.
The Yandra people are focused on moving forward and are looking at getting their Landowners Association registered, but that is proving to be a bit difficult.
Now this project can go big through. Now we come up close to the mine. That's all. One sample something I'm only me play, association I'm only me play yet. Certificate I'm all that is tap yet. Now me play no kissim. Also now me play got big play worry through lo me play like kissim certificate.
This issue is being pursued by the landowners and Marengo's Community Affairs Office. On a whole, Marengo Mining Limited is quite happy with their progress so far and are determined to stick to their plan.
Yeah, Yandra, we've been there since 2005, and we went to Yandra, and I guess you could refer to it as a sleepy little village in those days, with no road access, and still no road access of any note. Some people come across the back road challenging, but effectively an isolated village where most people walk in or walk out. We started exploration, or really restarted exploration, since the days of BHP had left and others in the 70s. Nothing had happened. So we restarted that process, and we restarted employing people. So a lot of people there was a whole generation who'd never had a real job working for anybody. So we started employing in what I call the village out policy. Basically every job that we have, we tested the village first. If they had somebody that could do it, then they came on board, they had preference. And in fact, one of our first PNG geologists was from the village.
Stay tuned. After the break, we find out which Chinese investor is teaming up with Marengo Mining Limited on their Yandra project. Now, this Yandra project is getting attention from outside investors. Let's find out more.
Small as this project may seem at this stage, it is internationally recognized. Marengo is registered on the stock exchange in Toronto, Canada, Australia, and Port Moresby, respectively. In order to gain an international reputation in this industry, the company must follow world industrial standards, especially in the way they operate and how they process data. This project is getting its fair share of international interest from other countries too. One such place is China. A company called Tiandelong Holding Group Company Limited is a Chinese company looking for minerals to feed its growing copper wire industry. And Marengo's Yandra project seems promising, and the Chinese company is willing to assist PNG in return.
You have the natural beauty and the resources. You have the hardworking people, and China has the economy, the development, but requires resources, and I can say Madang also needs the infrastructure and uplift. So by developing the mining project here, certainly will improve those aspects, and it's a win-win for both countries. We are not just here to look for copper, but working together with the Yandra project, China will transfer its capital, mining technology, and experience in management, and offer mining-related knowledge to this country. Hopefully this can also be a good example in partnership between the two countries as well as in mining development.
Copper is very useful because it is a very good conductor of electricity and heat. It is used in electrical wiring, plumbing, and machinery. China produces a lot of products for these industries, which is why there is an increasing demand for copper. Tiandelong Holdings Group Company Limited wants to expand to cater for this growth.
We get our copper supplies mainly from overseas, and China has an annual copper consumption of about 8 to 10 million tons, of which 80% comes from overseas countries such as Australia, Indonesia, Africa, South America, and even North America. We are planning to build a major copper smelter in northern China, and most of the materials for this copper smelter will come from overseas supplies. We are just one of the many Chinese suppliers, and what I'm saying here represents the voices of those companies as well, which is why we are looking for investment and cooperative opportunities with countries and companies that have copper resources, and to get those copper resources developed to supply the market in Asia and also in China.
The locals welcome development, but they also want to safeguard their land. No matter what happens, they want to strike a balance.
As environment is concerned up here, human life and environment, they work hand in hand. And the least we like to do here is to cause any environmental issues that will have a long-term impact. And I've been a local man from here. I like to ensure that whatever we do up here is in compliance with the Department of Environment and Conservation Act, and we like to be seen as being working with the people, and the people working with us to ensure that the environment is being catered for, looked after, rehabilitated, and looked after and there is a responsibility to be shared by the people in the around the area plus us. So we'll work as a team to achieve this.
The people of Yandra in this beautiful part of PNG can see a promising change if a mine eventuates. The company shares the same goal. Marengo is focused on ensuring that their employees and the villagers are well informed of the project's development.
I think one of the Marengo's approach in PNG has been called somewhat different. People tell us that the project development we'll have trouble with landowners and we'll have trouble with outside groups of all sorts. To date we've managed to manage that well. We haven't been attacked by any serious groups, and I think that we've started off from the grassroots level. We've started off our best allies are the villagers in the district who want this project to be developed. We have a three-tier approach, and we engage with the villagers on a daily basis. We engage with the Madang provincial government on a very regular basis, and in fact in recent months we now have monthly meetings between the Madang provincial government and Marengo management. And then on the third level we have strong engagement with the national government in Port Moresby. And again, that is done now on a regular basis. We have a monthly meeting of what is known as state team, where all of the government departments who are involved in the development of a project like this we meet with them on a monthly basis. So rather than have to go knocking on every door of every government department, the decision makers of those departments attend a meeting, and we all sit around the table. The next one, in fact, will integrate the provincial government with the national government. So I think the key or secret of a lot of these projects is communication at all levels, and I pride ourselves in being a very open company.
What comes of this project, only time will tell.
Thank you, Eunice, for that wonderful story on the Marengo Mining Limited Yandra project. After the break, we have a report about the proposed Paya Inlet Development Project in the Gulf Province of Papua New Guinea.